Hi, this is Tony Davis, and I'm joined tonight by the guys from Firefall, a band from, I think it's Bedford, isn't it, guys?
Yeah, Bedfordshire and Peterborough area. Nick was in
Right,
Cambridge for a while as well, so we class ourselves round that kind of
kind of
area.
that sort of area. Right.
Yeah,
Well, first of all, thanks very much for joining me. We've got with us tonight, we've got Jordan from the bass player,
nice to meet you.
Riley, guitarist,
Hello, nice
Nick,
to speak
vocals
to you
and
all.
guitar,
Hi, everyone.
and Jamie, or Jay, the drummer.
Hi, how's it going, people?
Good. Right, it's nice to have you along, guys. First thing I wanted to talk to you about is this stunning EP that you've just released. Three tracks.
Thank you very much.
3 tracks of absolute glory, I would say. So, how long have you been together as a band?
It's best if you direct certain questions to one of us, one at a time, because otherwise we're gonna.
Okay. All right. Nick, how long have you been together as a band?
First of all, thank you very much for having us. It's a real pleasure. We've been listening to the show for ages, and you've been playing our stuff for a while, and this is the first opportunity we get to say face to face, kind of. Thank you very much. We appreciate all the support. Well, we've technically formed in January or February 2021. And we played as a 3-piece for about a year, and after that we got Riley. We found Riley, or he found us, whichever came first. And yeah, in this current lineup since February 2022, so just over a year.
Okay. And I'm going to go to Jordan next and say, Jordan, how long ago was the EP recorded?
So the EP was recorded in summer last year, just after we played a big festival called Bedford River Festival. So it was in July time, at the end of July in last year.
And Riley, you were part of the band at that stage.
I was part of the band in the recording stage and all the studio stage, which was brilliant.
Okay. And Jay, I think I became aware of you through a couple of my listeners in Bedford who saw you play Esquires a while ago for the launch of the EP. It was quite a long set list, actually. I was quite surprised. You've got a lot of stuff, obviously, in your locker, haven't you?
Yes, we've got a huge catalogue, thanks to Nick, to be quite honest. So yeah, we have wrote quite a lot of stuff, and there's a few covers there as well, obviously. So
I was going to say, and you've probably given me the prompt for the next question, Nick. Who's the main songwriter, or is it a collaborative effort?
Well, like in any band, someone comes up with an idea, and in this case, it's usually me. I come up with a riff or with a rough demo of a song that I kind of like throw together, and then obviously we all get together in the room. Everybody gets the veto, they like it, they don't like it. It's a complete democracy, and of course, but we're usually in agreement. If something sounds good and everybody agrees, then we get in the room and work on it, and months before a song is ready. Other times it's literally on the spot. But yeah, it's very much a collaborative effort, but one of us comes up with the idea, and usually it's me. Yeah.
Okay. Jordan, what else have you got sort of planned recording wise or release wise, really, I suppose I should say? I know the EP's only been out a few weeks, but you must already be planning what comes next, I guess.
So yeah, I mean, we're always looking at recording stuff and trying to do stuff for our fans, and we're kind of torn between 2 selections at the moment. You played a track last night called Ra, and now Ra is a very popular song of ours. We normally play at the end of our set lists when we do gigs. So there is a possibility of doing something along them lines, talking about the old gods and titans mainly. But the other option is we've got a possible album coming out. So we're looking into our options at the moment, but I think we're edging towards we'd like to do an album this year, hopefully in the sort of summertime. So we'll see what happens with that.
Okay, yeah, that sounds quite exciting to me. I'd quite like to hear a sort of a full album.
The thing is, if I may intervene here for a second, the thing is we have actually, excuse me, we have over 2 hours, I would say 2.5 hours of material. Out of that, maybe 20 minutes is covers. The rest
Right.
is our stuff. But our stuff is grouped thematically, I would say, because we like to write about mythology. It's very appealing, and we don't just do. I mean, Norse mythology has been done to death, but we like to branch out. Ra, for example, is about the sun god of the Egyptians, and we have some or we're planning some Romanian mythology based songs, because I'm Romanian, in case you were wondering about
I was actually, I was going to ask that at some stage, yeah.
Yes, we actually have a few tracks in Romanian that we play, and people seem to dig it. But we're kind of toying with this idea. We already have the songs written about a small album or a long EP, whichever you like to, about the old Greek titans, so the elder gods, if you want. And we have most of the tracks done, and Ra was kind of like a bonus track of that, but it just got so much attention that we're kind of thinking maybe we should just release it on its own, because you got to give people what they like. Otherwise, what's the point of us? But we also have this other stuff that we have that's non-mythology based, where we talk about feelings and moods or nature. We love talking about nature, autumn and storms and so on. And I don't know which one will come first, but definitely we have a lot of pots cooking at the same time.
Okay, so lots of irons in the fire, and we'll have to see what leaps out in due course.
Of course.
Jake, can I talk to you about? I know that you do you do your own podcasts, don't you?
Of course, yeah, we do. That's been a new thing for this year. It was fun enough. The sound engineer that helped us do the EP, he came to us and said, "Oh, we noticed that you do the live streams on Instagram. Would you be interested in doing some podcasts and this and the other?" So I think we've done 3 podcasts, I think it is. And I think we've got no, we haven't got another one scheduled till maybe May time, I believe. But yeah, that's been a new thing for us, really.
So do you all get involved in that together? You know, I mean, I hate to say at this moment I haven't actually listened to one, but I will be doing so. I haven't. It's probably bad of me not to have done my research and listened to one. But do you all get involved in each podcast, or is it sort of split?
Yeah. All of us get involved. I mean, the last episode that went out, there was only obviously Nick and Riley and Liam, the engineer. But generally, we like to do it as a 4, plus obviously Liam.
Okay, it's a good way of staying in touch with your fans, isn't it?
Absolutely,
it's sort of that extra reach out, really.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I mean, we would do more, but it's a matter of arranging our schedules, because it's not only up to the 4 of us. So you already have 4 people who have to coincide schedule-wise, but we also have an external person which is quite busy most of the time, and we like to bring in people who have helped us or with whom we've collaborated so far. We want to bring people from bands that we worked with or that we supported or who have supported us on stage. We would like to bring the producer of our music video and talk about the whole process and stuff. But we thought since the EP is coming out, and it was coming out at the time when we did the first podcast, maybe it would be interesting to the people to see a little bit behind the stage and what we did with some of the technical aspects, how we got the guitar tone, how we mic the amps, or just what happened there. There's a lot of details that you will see.
It's a good idea. Yeah. It gives people more of an insight into the process. Charlie, as I say, it was the gig in Bedford where you first came to my notice because of my friends and listeners, the Darnells, telling me about it and going along to the gig and coming away with merchandise like good people do. You know, when you go to gigs, buy the merch. Always got to do that. But what gigs have you got lined up? Are you sort of still fairly locally based, or have you got a sort of a wider calendar coming along?
We've got a couple of gigs in Peterborough lined up. There's we've got one gig at this very small kind of DIY venue called Here We Aren't, and that is on the 20th of May, which is a Saturday. Yeah. And then we've got there's a big festival also in Peterborough, which we're also playing in July. So there are two shows that are more local to me, but not so local to the rest of the guys. But it's very good fun. Continue to branch out, trying to get into new venues and introducing ourselves to new audiences.
Are you sort of, as a group, do you sort of manage yourself and your bookings and all that sort of thing? Are you sort of self-sufficient?
We try to be self-sufficient as much as possible. I think we do what every small band does. We reach out to venues, we contact them, try and get the ball rolling with them. But it's quite brilliant because I've recently started looking at a lot more of the Peterborough-based venues, and Jordan has been brilliant in finding the more Bedford-based locations and around that area. So we kind of balance it out between us.
Okay. And actually, I'm looking into finding us some stuff abroad because I'm currently living in Luxembourg, and there seems to be a high demand for Firefall stuff, gigs, right. Merch, everything. Right. They really want us there, and obviously, there's a few things happening in Belgium as well, in Germany. We've applied for festivals and competitions for like the small stage slots for all sorts, even Glastonbury, and I don't know, we were looking at some of the biggest. Why not? I mean,
yeah, aim high. Yeah, absolutely. So Jordan, you've been sort of booking gigs around or looking at gigs around the Bedford area. When are you gonna? We'd like to sort of try and drag you to the south at some stage. Any chance of that? Do you think?
Oh, absolutely. No, absolutely. Yeah, no, we'd love to play anywhere and everywhere where they'd have us. I mean, we've always been a band where if they wanted to see us play, we'll go and play it. You know, at the moment we're not too fussed about the money. We all have our work. You know, this band for us means a lot. We just want to play music on the stage and play for people and just generally enjoy ourselves and make people happy right now. So although there's a business aspect to it, this is what we do. We love playing to people. We love making music, and this is what we do. So yes, without a doubt, we'd love to come down the south. And if you've got any good venues that you know about, bring it on. We'll do our best to do them.
If you want to make money, this is not the business you want to get into.
Absolutely.
I mean, it would be nice.
Neither as a musician or a DJ, you know. I mean, it seems that every station I work for wants me for nothing.
But we would love to come down south. Absolutely. Just name the place and the date, and we'll be there.
All right. Well, a couple of things that I can tell you about now that may be beneficial to you. Firstly, there is a group of people who run a thing called the Rock Cooperative at Gravesend in Kent at Leo's Red Lion. You may have heard of them, I don't know. If you've not sent your stuff across, I've sent it. I've put you on their radar. So they quite often are looking for bands over there. So hopefully something will come of that.
Thank you very much.
I'm also involved with a consortium of people in Hastings that are looking to open a brand new venue down here. So we'll bear you in mind for that as well. So that's a couple of things that mark us in the map. And the other thing that's going to happen to me very shortly is I'm joining the team at Emerging Rock Bands Radio. Have you heard that? They have this wonderful magazine that they bring. Hang on a minute. He says reaching in the drawer. This wonderful magazine that they bring out it's disappearing in the ether.
That's brilliant.
It's a magical disappearing magazine.
Yeah, they have this disappearing magazine that comes out every month and covers all those bands that are up and coming and that are part and parcel of the new wave of classic rock. I will be working for them from next month, doing shows for them, and I will definitely be sliding your tracks into that. So that will be a bigger audience as far as I'm concerned, playing your stuff too. So I hope something will come of that as well.
We're very grateful. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. Like I said before, we just love that people are supporting us, and we're going to keep going wherever we end up, wherever we play, wherever we record, whatever. We do this for the love of the music. So thank you very much for recommending us to these places, and hopefully we can sort something out.
Well, hopefully so, because I'm very conscious of the comments that Chris Moyles makes about unsigned bands, and to me, most of the best music's being made by those bands that are unsigned. So I'm always happy to sort of promote a band that I think has got something to offer, and I think you guys are brilliant. I think, from what I've heard, the 3 tracks on the EP and Ra last night, which took me a bit by surprise. I have to admit, it was quite different, but it took me a bit by surprise when I first heard it. But it's all great stuff. Great stuff.
We would love to see you at one of our concerts.
You will do it. You will do it sometime. Yes.
You are most definitely invited.
Okay.
All of them. Just let us know if you're available, and then and you will discover that we have a lot of colors in our palette. We paint with with a lot of different brushes. What do I mean by that? We have songs that are kind of rock, bluesy, kind of, in that area. But then we also go quite heavy, sometimes almost thrash metal. Maybe not that far, but and everything in between. Okay, because if there's any place where there shouldn't be any rules, it's rock music.
That's true.
We just do whatever we feel like doing, and as long as it's from the heart, and we're happy, people are happy. So,
okay, that's good. Jay, I just want to ask you sort of a question about your influences and your past bands and that sort of thing. So I'll start with Jay. Jay, what sort of music influences you most? And are there any bands that what previous bands have you been part of, or previous musical experience rather, I suppose, than bands?
I mean, when I started playing drums back when I was 9, I got into Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I idolised Chad Smith, obviously. And then I got into drummers such as Cozy Powell, and further along when I sort of listened to music and all that. I'm a massive Rammstein fan. Obviously, that's why one of the songs I picked last night.
Yeah, I was surprised, yes.
Yeah, so I think when music-wise, I mean, I like all rock and metal as it is. I mean, I don't just, believe it or not, I mean, some people might just think I'm just a massive Rammstein fan and only listen to them, but I do listen to a wide range of different stuff. And music experiences, I mean, I've been mainly sort of like a studio musician for a while. I mean, I've been in and out of bands for a while, but I think this is the first band that I've actually gone quite far in, like playing gigs and actually recording. Last year was my first experience recording, so I'm ticking a lot of things off in a short amount of time. So
Yeah, exciting time for you.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
How about you, Jordan? What about what are your influences, and what's your experience?
So,
Right, it sounds like a job interview, doesn't it?
oh,
Yeah,
well,
what makes you feel you're qualified for this job?
Yeah.
Jordan?
What do you think you could bring to this band, John?
so well, my main influences, I mean, growing up as a teenager, I listened to a lot of drum and bass and sort of like classic trance and stuff. But it was only in my later years, sort of 14, 15, when I started getting heavily into rock music. And the main sort of bands I was listening to were sort of like Meatloaf and AC/DC, sort of your classic rock stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But what inspired me in the end to pick up the bass was I went to my first music festival at Download 2012, and I saw Metallica for the first time, and seeing Metallica for the first time just made me think I want to do that one day. So I got back from the festival, and at Christmas I asked my parents for a bass guitar, which they both thought there's nobody musical in the family, you ain't going to be able to succeed in that. And the rest is history, as they say. I picked it up, I learned it, and yeah, I've been in and out of. I've done various cover band projects and originals projects. But again, like Jamie said, this is probably the first I've been with any band, and these guys are like my family now, and we're brothers in arms, and we go and play gigs and write music and just generally have a good laugh and see where it takes us.
Excellent. Good one.
But just to add as well, my main influence in the bass was Steve Harris of Iron Maiden, and his skills to play with all four fingers, which I still can't do to this day. But no, he's a brilliant bass player, and he's probably up there in my idols of bass players.
Okay. Just while I've got you two there in front of me, Jordan and Jamie, do you work as a unit? Are you sort of the engine room of the band? So playing off each other.
Sorry, Jay, go on.
I was just going to say it's quite funny because me and Jordan have been playing for a number of years. We actually knew each other before we actually formed Firefall, so I guess we know how each other work, if that makes sense. So yeah, if you want to add anything, Jordan, then go ahead.
Yeah, like Jamie said, we've been working together for a while, so I feel that even before the band, me and Jay were already connected. And when Nick came in, we just gelled really well, and from there we were able to write great music, or at least to our standards. And we, like I said, me and Jamie, we bounce ideas off each other, and we play well as a unit. And that's the whole point, is we're supposed to be the back line. We're supposed to be supporting the guitars and the vocals, and I feel we do that really well together.
Yeah, I'll tell you the reason I asked that. I know it seems like an obvious question, but I was up with Empire in Northampton on Saturday. They're a band that I've been pushing quite hard for several years, and they've become friends of mine now. And I was talking to their drummer, who said that he and the bass player actually don't play off each other. The drummer plays with the guitarist, and the bass player follows them. And that was the first time I'd ever heard that happen, because it's usually drum and bass are a unit, aren't they?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, we are a unit, and I think, but Jamie's very good at picking up not just the bass but the guitar parts, and maybe thinking, maybe I can do a fill here where the guitar's quiet, and you know what I mean. And I just feel that me and Jay are quite open to ideas and trying things out, and yeah, it just ends up working. If you want to add anything, Jay?
Yeah, I mean, you've pretty much hit the nail on the head, to be quite honest. So I've got nothing really to add on that.
Okay, fine. Let's go down to Riley then, and same question to you, really, Riley. What are influences, and what's your experience been? Your past influences?
I think, obviously, bring them up again. I think my biggest musical influence is probably Iron Maiden. I think they're the one band that I remember listening to for the longest amount of time.
Mhm.
And something about them, I think it was something that just made me want to pick up the guitar. I mean, I started taking guitar lessons when I was 6, 7 years old. There was a blip in the middle where I just kind of gave up and fell out of love with the instrument, but I soon picked it back up again. And as Jordan said, the rest is history. You know, I mean,
Mhm.
I've not had tons of experience. I am the baby of the group, so to speak. But I've jammed with mates. I've jammed with kind of like school and college bands, but this is the furthest I've got in any sort of band or musical project, and I'm generally surprised that I was able to get this far this quickly. So it's just been a brilliant experience.
Okay, good. And Nick, how about you?
Yes, yes, sir. Well, I used to be a drummer. Basically, I started playing in high school. Well, I was always a bit of a attention seeker, let's say, and I was on stage every chance I had since the age of 6, little plays at school and stuff like that. And then when I got to high school, I joined this like out of school activity clubs, music club, and that's where I learned how to play drums. But eventually, I started taking a guitar home here and there, because I was always drumming to other people's music, but it never felt like something that I would like to play. So I was kind of forced to write what I would like to play. So that's how I learned how to play the guitar, and I played on my own for a very, very long time because I never found musicians that I could really vibe with, let's say, to be on the same page. So I I started many bands and just as many fell apart. The last project I had, well, the last two projects I had before this, I was in a death metal band because I'm a huge death metal fan. Death, thrash, black, all the extremes. Uh, so yeah, maybe that's what kind of explains a little bit like the different ranges that we can go to as a band musically. But yeah, I mean, ever since I found these guys, we are a unit. Honestly, we're not just a band. We're actually good friends. We hang out. We support each other, and I'm at this point where I couldn't even imagine playing with anyone else. I just I love these guys so much. But yeah, musically, I come from very weird places. Before I discovered rock and metal and stuff, I really was into the Prodigy, like a lot. I
Okay.
was living and breathing. Uh, so I was listening to a lot of techno, kind of ravey kind of music, but also, the classics and a lot of extreme metal, death and stuff, and classical music. You wouldn't believe when I drive, I listen to classic FM stuff.
I think
So yeah,
we all listen to a bit of classical, don't we? I think every
absolutely.
now and again you've got to bung some on. It's
Yeah, yeah,
it's
definitely.
the progressive music of its time.
Of course, it was the first proper. I mean, if you listen to Beethoven and Vivaldi, you will see the roots of, especially in Baroque music and Bach, you will see the roots of rock and metal as
Absolutely.
much as in the blues and black music of the 20s and 30s. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Some of my DJ colleagues criticise me because I sample bits of classical music to put in jingles and things like that. So
You tell them we said it's okay.
okay, that's cool. Right. Okay, guys. Well, it's been great to talk to you tonight. It's a pleasure to meet you all, and I hope that at some time
Likewise.
in the future we'll actually meet face to face. And I definitely know I can't make the 20th of May gig because I'm at another one, not far down the road from where you are, but I am at another gig on the 20th of May. But keep me
Well,
posted with all your gigs and all of your recordings and what you're up to, and I'll do whatever I can to keep spreading the Firefall word.
Absolutely, we'll keep in touch, and we're looking forward to meeting you in person as well. Thank you so much for everything you do for us and for bands like us. We are sincerely grateful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, guys. See you soon.
Thank you very much for
See you
having us.
soon.
Yes, thank you, Tony.